Good afternoon. There's an Earth-directed, strong, M-class solar flare and probable CME inbound July the 7th of 2023. That's today. This is what was put out by World News Report today. I think he's done like a total of 3 videos, and that's up here. We're going to listen to his videos. And then if you look down here at the scale of Earth, how teeny tiny Earth is compared to a great big sunspot, and the sun's activity is increasing, and it is expected to get a whole lot worse. All it's going to take is like a Carrington event, and then we're going to get sent back to the Dark Ages. That's all it's going to take. Not to mention all of the excessive radiation that is coming from the sun. The energy, all of it, it's affecting us, even though, you know, we're humans and stuff like that. It affects our internal organs. It affects our thoughts, everything about us. We're electricity too. And if it's doing it to us, you know that it's doing it to the animals also. Let me come right here. It won't be too long of a video, but it is good to watch it. It is, to see what's going on, because I haven't been really taking too much of a look at the ISWA. We will go over to the ISWA also and see, as we zoom up, what we can see. Let me come back over here. I want to come over here to this, the first video that he had put up. This is a World News Report today. And I've got to make sure that I have gotten the everything unmuted, because I really don't know what thing to put up. I don't. So I'm going to come over here and we're going to see what he has to say. I'm going to do it. We can do it, y'all. We can do it. Let's watch this and look at it right here. This is a World News Report today.
James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today is July 7th, 2023, 7/7. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a strong M flare directly Earth facing. NOAA's calling it a 3.86 class M flare. NASA's calling it a 4 M flare. This was directly Earth facing and originated from sunspot AR 3359. It was picked up by our GOES satellite. It was a short-term flare, although I believe that it was strong enough to expel a coronal mass ejection towards Earth that we should all be looking for in the next 20 to 72 hours, depending on the speeds. All right, heading over to STO, the only place I could find the explosion. Lots of activity. Right there was the explosion, if y'all saw it. And then let's see if we can see it at 171 angstroms. It should happen right about. There it was, I believe. Right there, guys. And that time is going to be around 6:30 UTC time. We're going to watch it again at 193 here. We're on to the 7th right about now, and then we'll see it happen right there. And there's some action also in 3361 to the north right here all day long. Very active area up here, but the big blast is going to be right here. There it was. So we're able to actually see that at 171 angstroms. We'll see if we have any more luck. The 7th starting right about now. Also 3361 up to the top. It's active. Harder to see that. What we will do is slow that down. Going into the 7th here, look for, and there it was at 171 angstroms. We're also again getting a lot of activity from 3361 up here. Abnormal activity. One last time here. We'll be able to see it below here right about now. There it went. And jumping back, we're going to see it below. There it went. Perfect. We're also seeing a ton of activity from 3361 and coronal holes that are now basically Earth-facing that could generate solar winds in the next 24 to 48 hours or thereabouts. And most unfortunately, we missed most of the X-ray absorption, the radio alternation. I've been recovering from surgery and slept about 10 hours and am not in great shape as we speak, but we'll push through it. This is the end of the M flare. You can tell by the time there, 6:59. The peak was right around 6:30 UTC time. Although a short-term M4 class solar flare, 3359 is definitely Earth-facing, 3361 up here, and everyone's talking about 3363 right now. They're actually saying that they took pictures of it from NASA available Mars satellites.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if that's true, but I'm about to show y'all that in the next story. God bless each and every one of you guys. Let's get ready to rumble.
So that's World News Report. Let's see the other video that he did. That was shortly after that. It was right here.
This indestructible drone is now available in the...
We'll get to it. Okay.
World News Report today. Today's July 7th, 2023. 11:30 a.m. Central here in the U.S. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. A sunspot so big that NASA saw it from Mars. A huge sunspot, AR3363, just emerged over the sun's southeastern limb. But the Mars rover Perseverance saw it before we did. On July 2nd, the rover's mast-mounted stereo camera tilted up to the sky above Jurazo crater and photographed a deep black dot on the solar disk seen here. Perseverance does this all the time. Using a solar filter, the rover looks at the sun almost every day to check its brightness. When the sun dims, researchers know a dust storm is brewing, one of the most important forms of weather on the red planet. Sunspots are just a bonus. A recent study shows that Perseverance sees more than 40% of all sunspots, despite the fact that Mars is 78 million kilometers further from the sun than Earth, and the rover's camera doesn't put many pixels across the solar disk. So you're looking at actual photography from the quote-unquote backside of the sun. This is July 2nd, July 3rd, and July 4th. That's what they're telling us. The article continues, Perseverance has one big advantage. It can see parts of the sun we cannot. From where Mars is currently located, Perseverance views more than half of the sun's far side, giving it a preview of sunspots still hidden from Earth. That's how the rover spotted AR3363 days in advance. People on Earth first saw the sunspot on July 5th, 2023. A very big sunspot indeed, which has now made it around the limb and is in play. This is the same sunspot that NASA says was so large was making the sun wobble. I believe we've only heard that from NASA one or two other times over the last decade. Earth's actual size has been installed or inputted into this photograph so you can see the size of sunspot AR3363. Absolutely enormous, and I will check that sunspot's magnetic configuration right now. which turns out to be very uncomplex at this time, with only a 1% chance of X flare for today. Although it just hurled out a C flare this moment. As we know, we're heading into an area of our solar system that's going to generate lots of magnetic connections between the planets and the alignment of planets. So let's watch out for the next 120 days. It should be epic. Share, subscribe. Always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro World.
So that was from World News Report. We're going to go over to the iswa.gsfc.nasa.gov. I've already got some of it pulled up right here. This is really interesting underneath here because I think there really does appear to be ships in this area, and I had been looking at it up close. You can see it doesn't look like a normal, what you would expect to see on the sun, and I think they're flying in and out of the sun. I've documented the ships on the sun before and brought them out. You can see right here, this is, it just doesn't look normal to me. It doesn't. Now, granted, it's kind of pixelated and stuff, but still, it's not looking that normal. We're going to go back over here. I'm going to bring it down a little. So I might have to, I'm gonna push it back to me because I'm gonna have to push the button to let the sun do its thing. Let me do it. It's got to push play and let it load if you're just tuning in. Ah, my goodness gracious. You can feel your heart beating differently. Yeah. Has anyone else been experiencing a fever of around 104? Something's going on. I really think there is, because I've heard now 2 people having a fever of 104 lately. I'm not sure if something is being activated in people's bodies or what is going on. We're going to flip over there as soon as this quits blinking. It is blinking in my face. Okay, we got it right here, you all. Let's look over here at the, this is the SDO 171 AIA. If I can get it over here, bring it back up on here so you can see it moving. It's doing a 300 frame. It goes to the 5th and it comes into the 7th. Hopefully. And if it doesn't, I'm going to move it back. No, it didn't. I don't got to go into the 7th. But you can see like this. Look at this up close. Look at this sun. There was one of these products right here that the filament was like reaching up. This is a while back. The dark filament was reaching its little tendrils into the sun, trying to tether itself to it for some reason. And then all of a sudden, like a blast of light came from that coronal hole, and it knocked it down on the ground, you all. So look at these, because these do not look normal. I hope you can see this pretty good. Even though it's a really yellow thing, it looks kind of orangish. We'll go around these. This right here thing in the middle is really massive. And I personally, I would not be surprised at any given time to see any kind of ships if we had all the footage coming out of the portals in the sun, because we know that on one of the other products, I think it's the blue tinted one, you can see the ships coming out of the solar flares, the coronal holes, and sometimes it's like a whole fleet of them coming straight out. And if they're coming out, there must be even more of them. There is something up here. Can you see it right up here on this far corner? What is going on up here? It looks like there's something long, like right in this area, but I can't quite see. But there is something also stationary. There is something stationary that is in this spot. Wait till it brings back around. Let's see if it can do it. And it's in the shape of like a round circle. We got to blow it up, you all, so we can see it. It's in the shape of a round circle. Don't do that to me. No, I got to start it all over. They didn't want me to see it, but that's okay. I'm going to come right back up here. It's this top corner. See if I can get it up here. I had kind of accidentally tuned it out. It's this area right here. There is like an object here. It kind of reminds me of like you would see like a Stargate standing straight up. You may not be able to see it right now, but there's like a circle. Can you kind of see it? It's like kind of perfect. Like right there. It's kind of cloaked, but there's something up here. And we can't really see it that well, but there is filaments coming from down here going into whatever this thing is right here. And it doesn't appear to be like a normal solar flare right there in that area. Let's come around to here. It's also at the top of the sun. This thing right here, these are ships. When you see the really brightness up here at the top, I was able to bring it one day. You can see like ships coming from these great big ones right here. These would be like long white ships, which I have documented, and they are at the top of the sun. And then there are smaller ones. You can even see some of, my goodness, look at that. It's got its filaments going to something round up there in the sky. Can you see it? That is pretty wild. I'm not sure if it's opening up a portal or it's fueling something, but you can clearly, my goodness, look at that thing. Wow. Oh, I can see it really good on this surface. It's like undeniable. Yeah, sunspots or portal. Well, this thing right here is pretty big because it is twirling. It's wild. It's like a gigantic entity. Oh, it is wild. It's wow. That's right. And there's like one or more filaments involved because you can see one coming up from the backside of it also. Let's see what else is occurring. Now, don't be surprised if inside this area there are ships. The sun could quite possibly be full of light ships, and I do mean light ships. What is this? Okay, we got it. All right. See this? This might be a little bit too close up, but there is a lot of activity. A ton of it. Is this too big? If this is too close up, I can make it go a little bit shorter because I'm trying to get closer up. Let me try to make it a little shorter because this plasma screen will make it appear really massive. Yeah. And there's some pretty massive. No. See, look inside here. Look inside here when the sun is at a certain thing. There are like completely straight lines. If one was to be able to, like down here, like ships, it really does look like there's some inside of here. Now, granted, we don't got a super clear image like NASA has, but there's still something interesting. What if the sun is a great big, gigantic mothership, but also acts as a portal? I wouldn't be surprised. Look how it looks like there's a great big round circle. Do you see that? Look at that. It's like a great big gigantic circle outlined with this sunspot that is That is turning. Look at that. Wow. That is wild. This one thing over here looks like this could be quite possibly a great big disc. A great big disc or a long white ship, because this is just keeps going straight across. Look at this. And what did they say about when they were chasing the discs, UFOs? It's like they were hiding in the sunlight and they couldn't really see them that well. They blended in because they were so shiny. This was yesterday's video. Hiding with the sunlight. Part of this looks like there is a constant movement, like Tetrix-like movement inside this sun, is what it kind of looks like. Let's shrink it back down so you can get a better view of the sun. This is like massive, totally massive. Let me get back out of the way. Like a space station, and I wouldn't be surprised one single bit about it. Not one bit. I wish this product would be able to go a tad bit faster, but it doesn't appear like it is able to go a tad bit faster. What was the other product that he was looking at? Let me see if we can find the other product. Well, let's look at the 304. Or maybe a composite of this one right here, whatever this one is, the 211 193, and I wanted that to do that. It's not going to let me do it. Okay. It's not wanting to change, you all. It says it is, but you can see it's keeping the same product. That's all right. You can see up here this gigantic thing leaping off into right above the sun, doing something because something's up there. You see, it's wild. Yeah, it's wild, wild, wild. Let's see if we can go to the 304, if it will let us. I don't know if it will. Nope, it doesn't want to. I'm going to close it out and see if I close it out if we can look at it. And I'll open it back up. See if we can get. We got the green. Let's do the 304. We got a 304 right here. Look at the activity already, and this ain't even moving. But you can see that there's going to be a whole lot of activity. Let's rewind it back to 300 frames. Well, first you got to push play before you can do anything, Gina. Yeah, you're right. Let's push it over here. Let's bring it to here. And then let's do 30. No, I think I can only go back 20. We're going to do 20, and we'll see what's going to happen with this thing right here. Y'all just tuning in. It's a little hot up here. It is in the attic, but sweating is really good for you. It's good to sweat at times, as long as you don't have a heat stroke and pass out. Yeah. Is this live now on the sun? This is the current, I gotta push it to me. This is the current timestamp. NASA is not going to show you a complete live stream activity of the sun. You ain't going to see no real-time anything unless you go outside and you real-time looking at the sky yourself. It's still blinking. Okay, we can come over here. It's safe. It's 7, so it's 10 in the morning. Oh, man, don't do that to us. We'll shrink you down and let you do your thing. Got to wait till it's blinking, you all. It's still blinking, and at times I don't know if it's just because this screen is a plasma screen that the plasma wants to blink, because the plasma is very intelligent. Let's look at it, and you can see the timestamp. It is 7/7, and you want to watch that sun at 7/7. Let's do this right there. Now, I'm pretty sure that the sunspot that they were talking about that was going to be Earth's facing, we can see it on the very edge over here. But these look pretty big too. The cluster of them. Let's bring it up. Gina, we can't even see nothing, Gina. You're not over there. Okay, I'm going to look over here. This is all around the sun. You can see the plasma jumping up these dark filaments, which is pretty wild. It is wild. Some of these shoot straight out. Straight out. Boom! It's like that thing right there jumped right off the sun. Did you see that? It jumped straight out of there as if it was not a normal flare. Right there in the corner. Let's see it again. They jump out and then they go into stasis and then, yeah, that's a little bit wild. Oh my, look at this. It looks like there's a perfect circle right here. Can you see that? And that this filament, it's a perfect circle. There's something right here because the plasma is going around it. There's a great big round object right here. This normally should not be here. Can you see it? It's massive. It is massive. Let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger because I had, if this is a ship, why isn't it a ship? Why isn't it melting on the sun? But it's undeniable. That's a round shape right there. And it's not just a solar flare, and you shouldn't see that on there. Wow. Yeah, that's, I think there's another one on here too. It's over to toward the 9 o'clock position. Yeah, you see it. Thank you for those hearts flying up the screen. Let's see. Let me bring this down, you all. I thought for sure we see, yeah, this looks like right here in the center. This is creating too big of a perfect loop. You see this right here? Well, I wish it would make a heart. But it's not making a heart. It could, I guess, if it wanted. It was in the center of this particular product where the face showed up and he was angry. He was very, very angry in the center of the sun. Okay, but this thing over here, this is some kind of a ship. And it's bigger than the Earth. It's massive. Right up there. Let's see if there's anything else. Let's see down here if we can see any more signs of a ship. Let's shrink it down because I've got it up too high, and we want to see it, even though this really can zoom up a whole lot, a whole lot. But we're going to have to look really fast. So if we see any more strange occurrences. That one, oh wow, you all see. That one right there is undeniable. Right there in that corner at the 3 o'clock position. It is undeniable. Wow. And it's like tethered, it's like stuck to the sun. Try to see if there's anything else up here at the top. Looking at these filaments up here, they could be living entities. They really could be a fire entity. Plasma, massive plasma entity. Now see, this right over here really gets me because it looks like something is jumping out of the sun, and it could possibly be a ship. Let me see this. Okay, let's look at it. What is this? It's something like right in this area. This thing is completely straight, but I can't really get a good image of it. Maybe if I had a different product, but let's see. It goes straight up and looks like something came out of it right here. This looks like a ship. This looked like a ship right here that came off of the sun, came out of the filament right here and broke off. That's what that looks like. This could be something right here. Let me do this. One thing's for certain, you all, we have a lot of activity coming from the sun, and it's not pleasant to endure, but you're on this earth and you're going to have to endure the, wait a second. Okay, this hole right here that they said you could see from Earth, y'all, it's blinking. I got to wait for it to quit blinking. I think it's done. What if it's not a normal hole? This thing right here. What if it's not a normal hole? Because this looks like it's a round object, kind of, sort of. You see it? Gina, it keeps blinking. Gotta wait. Okay. Can you see it? It's too perfect. Way too perfect. And this thing right here, this has a rather odd shape at the top too. That is massive too. It doesn't seem normal. We can't really get it to quit blinking for some strange reason. Maybe if I calm myself completely down, since I've got plasma in the screen. Gotta wait. It's not gonna work. Right there. Okay, we've seen it. We've seen that one and this one right up here. Right there. It's kind of ship and it's massive. It's wonder how many Earths you could fit into that. If the sun is truly the size they say it is, and it could be. It really could be if you think of us as little bitty ants in the universe, smaller than little ants, like microbes or something like that compared to the universe and things like that. It's a lot of activity, you all. And this is pretty cool, seeing a disc-like object, round circular object, and it looks like it's blending quite well in with the sun with this red product, the SDO 304. Look at this side of the sun. It looks like it has the same thing over here on this corner too. I wonder if we took this corner, that's right here, and we went over here and found one exactly. No, it's down there at the bottom. These two corners aren't lining up. I just want to see if this corner lined up with maybe this corner. It could have lined up right here with this corner right here. It could have, you all. We've got, this was a video that was from the World News Report. And you can see it right here. World News Report today about an M-class flare. And there's a great big gigantic sunspot coming. And the next 120 days, he said, ought to be very interesting if you watch the sun's activity. Because it's going to affect you. It could even, if we had a Carrington event, that's all she wrote. It is, you're going to be living like the Amish. And you're not going to have no electricity. And you're going to have to figure out how you're going to cool off. Really, you may have to walk around with wet towels on you. Then how are you going to shield yourself from the radiation from the sun? They estimate that you'll only last around a year from direct radiation from the sun. And there is a scripture in the book of Revelation about the sun no longer scorching them. Scorching the humans. The sun will no longer beat down on them and scorch them. It's kind of like Jonah when he was told to go to Nineveh. And he sat and complained. And it was hot, so he was under a little shade tree. And then he still complained, and you know what? Because he complained so much, the tree just shriveled up because he was never satisfied. He just kept complaining. Then the sun beat down on him because he complained, and it didn't feel good either. So I am going to go, and again, you can find that report. He focuses on the weather a lot, what's coming to the earth. And there are some other people. There's like Wages World, and there's not very many people I would recommend. If the frequency's not right, no, I'm not going to recommend them at all. I'm not, because it's got to match my frequency. But this is really, it's serious what's happening because it's hot outside. You can't sit outside for too long without feeling your body being burnt. And it could be an artificial sun up there. But it doesn't stop the effects that we're feeling, you all. It does not at all. It's hot. We need shielding. We need to protect ourselves. And just got to wake up and do what we can do and stay centered on the inside. It's all about that love frequency. If you can stay balanced on here, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. But if you do not stay balanced on here on the inside of your being, it's going to be really hard to focus and think straight and prepare. It is. You got to keep your vibration high. We can't afford now to go into downward spirals. There's no time for that. Things are shifting way too fast. The sun is having a lot more activity. And whether it's man-made or it's really coming from the sun itself, we got to wake up and we got to get ready. But first and foremost on the inside of here, and everything else will fall back into place. It will. Right on the inside of there. So I am going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, you all. Thank you. And thank you to the moderators on here. Thank you all for your comments. Donna D, do I think it's too late to move to another state? No. I feel whatever you feel you need to do within your being, do it. But make sure it's the right decision you want to do, because you got to prepare. You do. Now, granted, the people thought the end of the world was going to happen for years and years and years and years and years. Some people sold all their possessions. Some people thought it was the end of the world and something happened. There was time stamps that were given and nothing happened. But this is different. You can look around. You can see the times that we're living in. You can see the world's being turned upside down. You can see the advance of technology and the impact that it's having on people's lives, and the technology that is integrating with our human body. You can see it all happening. The mind melding, brain implants, you name it. Yeah, it's like we're losing a little bit of us every day, a little bit more of us. And we are heavily dependent on technology. And if we do have an event that takes the grid down and stuff like that, you've got to know how to survive, and you better make sure you got that peace within, so you don't get stressed out. That's right here you are. Do what you can do what you feel led with to do within your being. I'm not going to tell nobody to do what I would do. I'm not, because I'm not you and you're not me. But I know the first thing I would do is right inside here. Right here. And a lot of people neglect that right there on the inside of them. They totally neglect it, and they do all the other stuff. But right here, get right on the inside. Get the love on the inside and guard it and be at peace. Be at peace while you can. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, you all. And I will see you later. Thank you.